Let's say this again. So the word Moedim means appointed times. So when God says he put the sun, moon in the sky for Moedim, appointed times. Yes, that's an allusion to what will become the appointed times of God, but that doesn't mean they exist yet. When it says that for Moedim in Genesis, that's not proving the Moedim existed in Genesis as the feast days and the pilgrimages to Jerusalem and the holy days. Okay, the word Moedim being in Genesis is a hint of why God appointed the sun, moon, and stars. Yes, they would come to be appointed when they kept them. But see, the Passover didn't exist before the Passover happened. See, people don't seem to grasp this. The Passover is a commemoration of an event. And that event happened in Egypt when they were under slavery in Egypt. After Joseph. Joseph wasn't in slavery in Egypt. He didn't keep the Passover. It hadn't happened yet. So you can't find a word somewhere that has a certain context and then take and say every time that word is used everywhere else in Scripture, it means those exact same contextual application. So the word dogma often does mean ordinances implemented by Caesar, if the context says. But the word ordinance by itself doesn't therefore mean, because you can find a place where it clearly shows it is a dogma that was not God's dogma. Okay? Now, since it's clear to you there which is right, by the way, when it says it was a Caesar's ordinance, it was Caesar's ordinance. And when it refers to ordinances divinely implemented, for instance, the ones in the temple, look, Jesus did away with the temple, dude. He said, I leave your house to you desolate. Does he want us? Why would he do that? I'll tell you why. Because he made the sacrifice and oblation to cease when he brought the new covenant, according to Daniel. Now, essentially, if you take Daniel 9:27, as I've shown, if it's not talking about Jesus, then Jesus didn't die in the 70 weeks. If Jesus didn't die in the 70 weeks, he didn't bring reconciliation for iniquity, according to the text, like 1 Corinthians 15 says, that he died according to the Scriptures. Now, the one who brings reconciliation for iniquity, which is the same word kippur as in the Day of Atonement, which nobody keeps if they're a Christian, because Jesus is our atonement. So, you have two options. Jesus isn't the Messiah, according to the text, or Jesus put an end to sacrifice and oblation. Sorry. Words have contextual meaning. You don't get to transfer one clear meaning from one place and declare it means the exact same contextual meaning elsewhere. It's not how words work. It's not how language works. It's not how good biblical interpretation works. Context matters. You can't transfer word meanings every time that word is used and expect it to mean the exact same thing in every context, because there's different contexts. And yes, God did implement ordinances that were temporary. Hebrews 9 demonstrates this. If you deny it, I have nothing to talk to you about, because you're just not understanding the Bible. Sorry.